There are many interesting and exciting challenges in the unreal world, from hunting bears to surviving the deep winter months, but some of the most curious are the quests. Welcome everyone, my name is Ryan and we are back with episode 19 of the Unreal World. This is the Runaways series, and if you're new or if you've missed some episodes, the link to the playlist is down in the description of this video, and I post all my videos early on my Patreon, so if you want to support the channel and get early access, that link is in the description as well. But with all that said, we are hot on the trails of a quest today. So let's see, F3? No, we want F2. There it is. Brings up our quest journal. We're looking at the top one here, Adventurer Spear. So you can pause it and kind of read through if you've missed the last episode. And the most important thing is here down at the bottom. We're trying to find this guy's shelter. He's back at the village, injured and recovering, but he tells us that the shelter is at the border location of a large spruce mire right next to a pine mire in the south of it. So we're looking for two mires neighboring each other. That's good because the mires are kind of the open, treeless areas for the most part, but there's a spear that we're trying to retrieve from near his shelter. And the quests are very interesting. They can offer some really cool benefits and rewards, but what I've done is we brought ourselves to the location of the quest. We don't know exactly where, but it's somewhere in this circle, so our job is to now search around. Of course, the adventurer was wounded when he dragged himself home to this village, so he doesn't exactly remember where. Now it's our turn to figure it out. But I have spent a little bit of time between recordings just trying to find some sign, and I think I might have. We've got some tracks right here in front of me. So let's get things started today, guys. We're going to inspect these tracks, and hopefully they're related to our quest. Okay, so I've inspected the tracks, and it says down here they are very fresh, big bear tracks leading southwest. That's promising because he got into a fight with the bear. That was what, chased him off. He said he got a hit on the bear, but I don't think he killed it. So these tracks could be leading us to the shelter, maybe away from the shelter and towards the bear, but either way, we're going to start going in the direction of the bear itself. Yeah, so it's heading southwest. That's where we're going to go. Maybe we need to backtrack to find the shelter, but let's just see. I'm very curious if this animal's going to be wounded, because if it does have like some random wound on it, then it's almost certainly the bear we want. I think it probably is. It's too much of a coincidence to find a bear track here inside the quest area and it not be related, but I guess it's possible. Either way, let's see. Well, we're just going to follow the tracks until I catch sight of the bear. And I don't know, the dog is with me, so I'm kind of thinking maybe we should try and kill it. Dang it, I should have brought one of the other members of the village with me. Southeast, okay. He's coming to quite a swampy area, but I mean, that is what the quest described, so let's see if we can catch sight of this bear. And there it is. We have noticed it just to the south, simply by following its tracks, and it is suffering from a serious cut in the neck. Wow. Yeah, this is definitely the bear then, for sure. Now, like I said, I'd like to kill it. I don't have much in the way of, well, I have no ranged. We've got our axes with us, but I don't want to get into melee combat with a bear. And, of course, even having our dog with us, that's great. That would help, but she could, simply get killed in the first hit. That's possible, and then it would just be us and the bear. And that could be the end of the whole series, so it's not required for us to kill this thing. I think we do want to backtrack, though, so we're going to return to where we first spotted these tracks, which was right at the forest edge. Let's jump there. Okay, so here we are. This is about the location. Now, I'm betting that the shelter is going to be somewhere in the tree line. Might not be like super far, but Shelters are very hard to see. I mean, they essentially are made with, the same stuff as these trees right here, the spruce trees. But we're definitely still on track with the bear's, line of movement here. Let's just check out some of these tracks. Very fresh, obviously leading in the opposite direction. Now, where are these going? See, the tracks kind of turn here. Southeast. It's hard to track them in reverse, but... Oh, I don't know. It's almost certain that the bear... Oh. Okay, there's another track right there. I thought I saw the shelter, but it was just a small tree. Alright, very fresh, leading south. Oh, there is a bloodscape right there. Look at that. Bloodscape to the south. Am I missing the shelter? See, the shelters are weird. They won't show up in the shadows. Like, you can still see the shadows of trees. You won't see the shadow of a shelter until it pops into, like, your vision. Then you'll see it, but it might be close. There's definitely the bloodscape. I wonder, is it on the screen? Maybe I'm just missing it. I don't know. Oh, where is it? Let's zoom in. Zooming in will help a bit, but there's also a possibility it's like, oh, there it is, right there. It's just behind us. Yes, we've done it. Oh yeah, there's tracks everywhere. We're in the shelter. I think we should just mark it. Let's mark this guy's shelter. There we go. We'll just mark that for posterity so we know this location. I might come back here and try and kill that bear, to be honest. But, all right, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's grab everything he left. So he's left a cord. Oh, nice. There's the spear that he wanted. We're definitely taking that. He's got some food. What's that? Oh, a trap and another rope. That's helpful. Now, he said he only wanted the spear. So I think the rest of the stuff we get to keep. And, well, let's go find out if there's an extra reward, too. So, next up is the village. We've made it. So, actually, when I zoomed out, too, I saw the bear on the world map. And I think we're definitely going to return there. I'm going to hire some people first, though. But let's turn this quest in. All right, how's it going? I'm Thor. Is this not the right one? No, I should be in the village. I thought he would give me directions, although it's come to think of it now, he's probably in the exact same hut because this guy's wounded and can't move. Yep, there he is. He's laying down. He's hard to see, but he's right there. All right, so we'll chat with him. Hello, buddy. Tell me again. Sorry, I have something for you. Option number 3. There it is. Give him the old spear. My spear, you really found it. I'm ever so thankful for your help. You are welcome. Oh, and let me reward you with the bow lesson. That's what he told us. I forgot about that. It's some bow instructions. My teachings alone are not enough, but also you need to practice them on your own. You will notice the value of my advices the next time your bow skills are truly needed. Thank you, and farewell. Very cool. Yeah, and of course the bonus was like the rope and the pawboard fox trap. Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. I'm definitely going to take those home and we will set up this fox trap. Fox furs can be pretty valuable, for compared to their size and stuff. So now what we want to do, like I said, we're going to try and kill this bear. I just want to get revenge. No, I need the fur and the meat for trading purposes. So what I'm going to do now is look at some of the NPCs in this village and see what they've got in terms of weapons and axes. Like, what does this guy have? So I'm just going to hit the look command. This is the one we saw earlier where he's got 2 axes on him. So he could definitely... Well, I don't know for sure what his skills are. We could ask him, but to be quite honest, I'm just going to hire him. Nope, he says he's not interested. Shoot. He probably has a bad feeling about us. He realizes I'm going to make him a sacrificial lamb to this bear, but let me see if there's others here who might be willing, and we'll take a shot at that bear. Now this guy right here looks like he could take on a bear all by himself, but luckily we've got Thor, the dog, and one other guy right here. Now I had to come to a different village, that other village where we were just at. Yeah, this was where we had the quest. Not so great for recruiting, but this one right here was good, and boom, that's where the quest was. So let's head back over. Want to see if we can spot that bear again on the world map. Shouldn't be too hard to find it if it's still in the area. And honestly, it's still the same day in game. Man, I always hit the wrong button. There we go. So it's just over here. And honestly, I feel good. One of these guys has a battle axe on him. Alright, so I saw the bear like right here as I was leaving. Alright, we're in. Let's go stealth mode. Although the dog is probably hungry enough to start barking. Let's just look. I think we're going to encounter the tracks. Maybe? Maybe not. Yeah, if we can pick up the tracks, then that'll be really nice. There we go. Okay, we've got tracks right here. Half day old leading southeast. Okay, so these are a bit older, but there's a bunch everywhere. These look different. Are these the human tracks? No, those are very fresh ones leading northeast. Okay. Yep. She's around here somewhere. Let's see if we can locate her. Oh, here's more tracks. These just look very fresh. Yeah. We can tell by the darkness of the tracks typically. But she's erratic, man. It's hard to pick up the actual trail. Where does this one say it goes? Leading southwest. Okay, well, I was going in the wrong direction. Where is she? I don't see her yet. I've lost the tracks altogether now. Well, the best thing to do if you lose the tracks is just... Oh, here we go. To return where the last spot you saw them. Okay, very fresh, leading west. These look like she's playing with the idea of going into the woods. In fact, I see one or two that lead in and out of the woods. It would be easier out in the open, obviously, even with the NPCs. I mean, they could end up killing her in the trees and I might never find her body. Let's see, though. Maybe we'll get lucky, but she's not making it easy, is she? She's elusive. She's injured, too, so she's probably doing her best to just find somewhere to hole up and rest. It may not be the smartest thing, but I've returned to the shelter, the adventurous shelter, and I think we're going to sleep in it just because we're weary. It's late afternoon, but I've been searching, man oh man, through the forests, through the pine mires, following these tracks back and forth. He's been all over this area, but I am just struggling to find him. Let's see, it's after midnight, so it's pretty dark. I think I'm just going to give up, honestly. I mean, we could stumble into him in the dark, but that might be not a smart thing. Well, like I said, it's not super important for the quest. We could go ahead and return with the two people we have, although one of them I'm pretty sure doesn't have an axe on him, so I could let him borrow the one I've got, but it might also not be a bad idea to return to the Drick like another village or two. It looks farther than it is. It won't take me long. We could be there by morning. And yeah, if I can find another person and also maybe get the other axe that I'd really like to get, there's still more variety of axes we need. So we will go ahead and abandon the bear, and I'm going to have to start trading away some of my meat. But at the very least, we're going to hire another person or two who can help us chop trees, because that alone will make this whole trip worth it. Very nice, very nice. So I managed to find another person to join us, and I'm buying a couple of axes here with this deal. So let's say, okay, you can see I'm giving him 100 cuts of our bear meat, some antlers, and that full piece of leather too. So this was pretty pricey, but it's going to be worth it because we just picked up a second hand axe. This one's better quality, so I'm going to hand this one out to one of our companions, and we've got the fine woodsman's axe too. So I would have preferred a broad axe because that would be better for specific purposes, but actually the woodsman's axe is more of like a better all-arounder. Let's read what it says. Tool to cut down big trees, also works as heavy duty all around axe. It's heavy, suits also for splitting wood. So yeah, just having the woodsman's axe around is good, but I think we're pretty low on stuff. Nobody wants my badger fur, so I'm probably just going to turn that like into some cordage, but we've still got 30 pounds of meat, with some of the stuff we got from that quest. And like I said, we've got an extra friend or two. Now, we're not going to go looking for the bear anymore. Well, we might, just because it kind of is on the way. We're headed here to the Green X, and there's the location of the bear. So we'll swing by, but luckily I found a brand new village that while I was coming up, so I didn't have to go very far. Also, a couple of the villages you'll notice I did mark. This one's got a pig and a dog for sale. This one here has a cow and a bull. So one of the things I do as I go in is ask to see just what what kind of animals they're selling, and I'll mark that. Obviously, I can't afford them now, so we'll have to come back once we're a little bit wealthier. But let's see. Yeah, we're coming closer. I just want to see if this bear's like visible on the world map. I'm not going to actually dive in, but I don't see him anywhere. Yep, we'll take a little drink here by this lake. Let's have some lunch, and we're going to get back home and start ordering these guys around. And we have arrived back at Ore Corner. Day 3 of the second week before midwinter. Not too bad. Our companions are with us. Looks like they're in our little spring. Yeah, all of them except the dog. Speaking of the dog, let's go ahead and tie her up, and I'll order her to go ahead and eat too. So tell her to eat. Now, we've got 3 companions here. So we're going to give a group command to the companions by hitting plus. I'm going to do this with the keyboard. Now, it's set to group commands. We're going to tell them to fell some trees. Okay, excellent. They all said very well, very well, very well. That means they all have axes. If one of them was missing an axe, he would have said very well, but I don't have the equipment for it. Yeah, that guy's got a hand axe, battle axe, and yep, another hand axe. Awesome. So 3 individuals with ourselves helping will probably get us most of the way there, just depending on how big of an actual log cabin we want. I don't really know yet. We'll see. It's also going to require us to clear out a lot of these trees here too. Now they're kind of heading off into the forest over here, the edge. That's okay for now because I do kind of want this area cleared, but in the future when I give them a command to cut trees, I should probably move to the middle over here, because wherever you give them the command is kind of where they're going to spread out from. So they're not going to go super far away, but they'll just kind of cut some trees down in this area. At least that's my hope. They will only cut down big ones, and they won't bother with small trees. So again, I think most of the birches around here, yeah, drop these big trunks. We can see one right here. Let's go ahead and slide this one up to our campsite. There's also some sort of crop here. Oh, it's milkweed. Okay. And we do know the milkweed, so that's nice that we have a little bit of known crops and herbs. Not a true crop. Milkweed, I guess, is more of just an herb. All right, so let's push this right there. Beautiful. So we've got a spot to beat out any skins that we get, because we are going to want to do some hunting. But I think for right now, let's have a bit of a meal. I should go ahead and drop a few things. I'm going to keep the axes with me because we are going to be working around here, but I'm going to drop the cordage. Maybe we'll set up that fox trap somewhere. And I don't need to carry around 36 pounds of meat on me, so we'll drop that here too. I almost bought a shovel when we were back at the Drick trading, but I just couldn't afford it. But we do need a shovel too, in addition to the axes. It's not required for the actual cabin, but if we want to make a cellar or two to help preserve our food, a shovel is necessary. And I'd love to do it before the ground freezes, in fact. So maybe we can get another trade trip in. We just got to do some hunting, but first I want to make sure that we get as much labor out of these 3 individuals as possible. So we're going to stick around here for at least a few more days and just work. The landscape is littered with the remains of trees and small bushes and whatnot, which is good. Now, as I feared, these NPCs don't cut down the birch, and I knew that they wouldn't cut down the small ones, so everything we see here, I have cut down. But of course, while I was working, they were busy too. They're just more on the outskirts up here. Yeah, they'll go for like the spruce and the pine. So we can see there's logs all along the tree's edge here, even to the north. So yeah, I have to do the thinning out of like the middle growth part, but it's not bad because these slender trunks, for one thing, will come in handy, especially once we start making fences we're going to need them for, and also for the ceilings and floors of our cabin itself. Now, obviously, we're going to probably end up with an abundance, but then we could just use it for wood or something like that. So now is when I take the time to start to organize everything, specifically these big tree trunks. The first step is to move them into position. We could sit there and process the log in place, but then we're still going to have to move it. So I like to get them all stacked up. Here we go. So this is actually a stack of 7 already. Now we only need 6 of the tree trunks to make a wall section. So what we'll do, let's zoom in a little bit. Let's pretend like this is going to be the top corner of the house. So we'll have a wall going out in this direction, and then we'll also have another wall coming down. So in other words, we're going to push one of the tree trunks. We'll push both of them. Boom, there we go. Yeah, so now we can see that up here there should be 6, and below my feet there's 2 more. So what that means is I've got to go grab 4 more. We'll roll these over. I do it one at a time because otherwise it can take too long, I found. So one at a time of the big ones, and we start to move them into place. Let's see, what are we at now? So currently at my feet, no, I've got 4 of them. So yeah, 2 more, and then we'd have a second wall section, the start of one at least. Now, what we do is we hit skills, we hit M for timbercraft, and L to turn it into a log. That is where the broad axe comes from. Oh wait, it says there's no big tree trunk for carving into a log. Oh my gosh, we can't even use these. So these aren't considered big trees, I guess, is the thing. Okay, that one works. The aspen logs work, but it appears that the birch, maybe it is working now. I'm not sure why that didn't work at first, but you can see we're using the carving axe. Oh, and somebody's talking to me here. I'll be working for a day or more. It's time for me to go back home. He'd like us to pay him more. I think that's what this guy's going to come and say to me too. Yeah, and the other guy's not far behind. We hired 3 of them at once, obviously. So they have chopped a whole bunch of logs for me. Now it's up to me, obviously, to assemble them and start to carve them into logs and whatnot. But let's take advantage of our friends here. We've still got a day with them. Let's come up here and grab the dog, and I think we're going to go on a hunt. If we come across something big and dangerous like a bear or a wolf pack, we'll have some friends with us to make things easier. A single dog is helpful, but it's not a guarantee of safety. And these 3 guys, especially the one with the battle axe, I'm curious to see how they do in combat. But what we're going to do is we'll save this big hunt for the next episode. So tune in for the next one. We're going to start with the big group hunt. Who knows how it'll finish though, but ultimately we are going to get back here and work more on the cabin. But either way, thanks for joining me today, everybody. I really appreciate you tuning in. Hit that like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.